Hey guys, welcome to another Tuesday edition of the Vinyl Den, your channel for record collecting by record collectors. My name is Nick. It's Tuesday, so it's time to talk some new releases that are coming out this Friday, May 20th. Looks like there's about 300, a little over 350 titles coming out in total. I'm going to talk about, probably about 10 or 12 of them. If you haven't done so yet, make sure you click on that link down below. Go check out the Vinyl Den Facebook group. I know we say it every episode, but just a cool place to continue the music conversation. And there's also a couple other links down there. There's one for the Vinyl Den merch page where we get these cool Vinyl Den t-shirts. They've got sweatshirts on there also. There's a link for the Vinyl Den Spotify and Apple Music playlists where every week we're just compiling music that we're talking about here on the channel, putting it together on a nice playlist for everyone to enjoy. There's a link for the Vinyl Den Patreon page. If you want to support the show, it's always greatly appreciated. You can support the show for as little as $1 a month. Of course, if you enjoyed the episode, make sure you give me the old thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button down below. Make sure you hit that notification bell so you're notified every time I release new episodes. Like I said in the intro, there's a little over 350 titles coming out this week. I got about 10 I'm going to talk about. So if I missed something, make sure you drop me a comment down below and let me know. I know I missed a big one last week with the new Black Keys album. I don't know how I missed that on the list. However, I looked over 2 different websites online, and I missed it at my local record store, too. It's kind of a rarity that I missed something that big. But like I said, drop me a comment if I don't talk about something here on the episode today. But there's a couple of really big jazz releases coming out, and also some big new releases also. But you guys know I'm a big jazz fan. So the first one here, this is Art Blakey's Jazz Messengers with Thelonious Monk. This is a 2 LP recording from May of 1957. So this is the 65th anniversary release that they're doing with this one. And this comes with an extra disc of outtakes, which is always kind of cool to hear kind of the process and some of the other stuff that it doesn't normally come on the standard release. It's not priced too bad either. It's going to run you about $32 online. Thelonious Monk is definitely one of my favorite jazz musicians. So because I'm kind of, like I said, unfamiliar with this album, it's definitely one I'm going to grab. The next one is something that it's probably not something that's really kind of in my wheelhouse, but I know there's a bunch of people out there that are definitely looking forward to this one. But this is Harry Styles, his new album, Harry's House. This is Harry's 3rd studio album. And I know there's a couple of different variants for this album that's being released out there. So it's running about $32 online also. So same price as that jazz album. But like I said, I'm not a big Harry Styles fan. This is probably going to be one of the bigger selling albums, at least of this week. I know there's a bunch of pre-orders and stuff out there. I've talked to several people that are really looking forward to this one. But I'll at least stream it and check it out. Another big jazz reissue that's coming out this week is John Coltrane, My Favorite Things. You guys have been watching the channel for a while. You know I'm a huge John Coltrane fan. He is my favorite jazz musician. But My Favorite Things was released in 1961, and this is John's biggest, I think it's his most successful or commercially successful album. And this was inducted into the Grammy Hall of Fame back in 1998, according to my notes here. But this is a 2 LP version that includes the newly uncovered mono version. So there for decades and decades, they thought the mono version was just lost to time. But they found a copy of it, so it is included in this 2 LP set. So definitely a cool one to check out. This is actually one of I've got probably a dozen or more Coltrane albums, but this is one I don't have. So it's going to run you about $33 online. It's definitely one I'm going to look forward to picking up this week. Just like I said, I love Coltrane. I've streamed My Favorite Things several times. I know it is a good album, but so it's definitely one I'm looking forward to. And then Ozzy Osbourne, Black Rain. So this was an album that I know gets a lot of grief online. People tend to kind of hate on this album, which I don't really get. I think it is a really good album for like the later period of Ozzy's career. This was originally released in 2007, and it was the last album with Zakk Wylde also. So I know Zakk has played a big part of his career over the 10 or 15 years, 15 or 20 years prior to the release of this album. But this is Ozzy's 10th studio album, and it actually debuted at number 3 on Billboard. So it actually charted really well. It's only about $33 online, so that's definitely a cool one to grab. It's an album that, it took me a little while to kind of come around to it, but I think I listened to a lot of the reviews early on when it first came out, and like I said, a lot of people were kind of hating on it, but, I think it really is a good album. I'm definitely going to grab that one and that Coltrane album this week. An album that I know a lot of people in the Vinyl Den Facebook group have been looking forward to. This is Suicidal Tendencies, Controlled by Hatred, Feel Like Shit, Deja Vu. This was originally released in 1989. This is the 4th studio album from the thrash legends that are Suicidal Tendencies. And the cool thing, the interesting thing about this, it's almost like a fake double EP that they released. So the first 4 tracks are Controlled by Hatred, and then the last 4 tracks are Feel Like Shit, Deja Vu. So it's kind of cool how they kind of did that presentation back in the late 80s. Kind of a cool idea, because it wasn't really released as a double EP. It was released as a studio album, and it's even listed as a studio album. So it's kind of a different way to kind of market the album. And then another album that's coming out that's kind of a combination of 2 things is The Clash, Combat Rock, and the People's Hall. Oh, I forgot to say that that Suicidal Tendencies album is going to run you about $25, so not badly priced either. But The Clash, Combat Rock, and the People's Hall, this is a 3 LP set. This is going to run you, it's definitely a lot more expensive. It's going to run you about $60 online. But Combat Rock was originally released in 1982. It's probably my favorite Clash album, and I think it is their most successful, commercially successful album also. Definitely has a couple of their biggest hits on there. And so, like I said, Combat Rock was released in 82, and then the People's Hall is 12 tracks for their like early versions or early recordings from the band prior to the release of that album. So, I'm not familiar with any of the stuff that's on the People's Hall, so that's definitely one, like I said, $60 is kind of pricey for me. If I can grab it on sale, I'll probably do it, but I might have to wait a little while to see that happen. Another really cool release that's coming out this week. This is the Claypool Lennon Delirium Monolith of Phobos. This was originally released back in 2016, and this is a double LP. They're calling it Smoky Gray Phobos Moon edition, which, if you see the picture here, it looks like it's a pretty cool looking color to the album itself. But this is a collaboration between Les Claypool and Sean Lennon. It's going to run you about $36 online. If you are unfamiliar with the Claypool Lennon Delirium, definitely check out this album, because this is a really fantastic album. I love a lot of the stuff that Les and Sean have done through this project that they've been working on. But like I said, that's definitely a really cool one to check out. Even though $36 is a little high for me, but it is a double LP, so I guess that kind of makes sense for that price. But the next one is one that I didn't know anything about, and I didn't even know this was actually even coming out until just recently. But this is Van Morrison's new album, What's It Gonna Take? To be completely honest, I don't think I've listened to any of Van Morrison's music for in the past, probably 25 or 30 years. So this is his 43rd studio album, which is insane that I didn't even know he had that many studio albums. But it's only $35 online. I was a casual fan of some of that early Van Morrison stuff, so I probably won't pick this up on vinyl, but I'm definitely going to stream it and check it out. So Wagram, which is a label, over the last couple of years has been kind of doing these, artists in jazz. They've been taking some like strange artists that you would never think that they would do. I know they've done Prince in jazz, they've done Pink Floyd, they've done Led Zeppelin, they've done Bob Marley, and some very interesting kind of jazz versions of those artists' big hits. So they've got another one coming out this week. And I'm always kind of interested to see what songs they do and kind of how they rearrange some of those tracks. But this is Elvis Presley in jazz, and I think a lot of Elvis's music will actually transfer over to the jazz genre pretty easily. So definitely an interesting one to check out. It's going to run you $31 online. So it's for a single LP. I would like to see it, maybe $3 or $4 cheaper, but I don't know. I'm a big Elvis fan, so I probably will see if I can track down a copy of that. I've some of those in jazz albums have been kind of interesting to listen to, but this one might be a pretty decent one. And then the last one on my list here is the Nora Jones Come Away With Me Super Deluxe box set. I know that, I think was it last week or the week before, they reissued the standard version of Come Away With Me, But this is the 20th, like I said, the 20th anniversary 4 LP Super Deluxe version. This was a #1 album in 20 different countries and sold over 30 million copies. So that's huge. It's even for the early 2000s, 30 million albums is still pretty good. But it contains 22 unreleased tracks, including early demos and early tracks, and it also comes with a hardcover book. So it's not a bad package. The price on it, you've got to be a big Nora Jones fan, I think, to get this one, because it's going to run you about $180 online, which I think is really kind of pricey for the Super Deluxe box sets. I kind of shy away from them unless they're, if I can get them for $120, maybe $140 is kind of my top when it comes to those Super Deluxe box sets, unless it is an album that I absolutely love. Even though I think there is some good stuff in this Nora Jones box set, $180, a lot of it's probably going to be available on streaming. I'll probably just check it out that way. I'll also say that when I see box sets like that, or vinyl box sets like that are priced really high, around $200, and then I'm not sure if they're releasing a CD version of the Super Deluxe, but I'm always kind of dumbfounded how they can price something so high, $180 or $200, and then the CD version of it is like $60 or maybe $80. That's why I think a lot of people are kind of shying away from some of those Super Deluxe box sets, and you're seeing them sit on shelves for longer than they probably should have. But when you can pick up the CDs or stream it, it's kind of hard to come up off that $180 or $200. Well, that's all I got for you today, guys. Thanks for checking the show out. I talked about 10 of those 370 titles that are coming out. So make sure you drop me a comment down below. Let me know if I missed anything. If you enjoyed the episode, make sure you give me a little thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button down below. And that's all I got. Until next time, keep on spinning. Peace.